I see you played in the PMBL this year. Just give me a little bit about that, about the whole experience.
The PMBL actually was a good experience. This guy by the name of a good friend of mine, Marques, he's been trying to get me to get into it for a few years now. And I was doing my own thing, like trying to get overseas and trying to get myself signed. And I just was basically working out. I was really playing in any rec leagues and stuff like that. This summer, I went out to LA. I got invited to play in the Southern California Pro Summer League, SPL for short. Actually, the original NBA Summer League before they moved it to Vegas and Orlando. And the league is sponsored by N1. And actually, the president of N1 is actually from Philly. So the director of the league wanted me to meet this guy, so I met him. We talked about different stuff in Philly, basketball, etc. And he ended up telling me about the league himself, because, you know, N1 sponsors it. I listened to him, I gave it a shot. I came back home, whatever. Ended up suffering a hernia injury in my right groin, so I had a minor setback for about 2 to 3 months. But I just wanted to keep myself conditioned and just keep it to a minimum and keep playing, because it's hard for me to not play. Played in the league, through the hernia, got the surgery in October, was down for a few weeks, probably missed like 1 or 2 games, I believe, and continued to play, was fighting through the pain and everything. It was just a good experience, man, real professional, stats, legitimate, legitimate website, legitimate venues, professional people, at draft and all that, just like NBA, basically, everything done exactly the same. Just a good league for anybody that played in the high school, collegiate, or professional level, and free agent at the time, or just want to stay in shape and want to play and get some good film, and or anybody that just likes to play basketball for a hobby. It's just a good professional league to just network with people, not even just basketball, just anything, just as good people, positive people to meet that can lead you basically in the right direction.
What do you think is your best position? Because I see you bring the ball up, man, you seem to play the two.
My best position, basically I've been playing my whole life, is the 2-guard position. It's been a blessing and a curse. I've always been a good shooter my whole life, so coaches always would want to put me on the wing or at the 2 position to come off screens and catch and shoot. And on top of that, I always played on teams with like guys that are almost basically all Americans or really top guys in the city and stuff like that, or in the country. So like basically that was always my role to shoot. And normally if I wasn't the best player on the team, 9 times out of 10 I've always been like the best or second to best shooter on every team. So that's basically been my best attribute that I could bring to any team. As I got older, I worked on my ball handling and other parts of my game and trying to make myself a true point guard. But yeah, I would pretty much say my best bet is to play the 2 position, because I can come off the screens and I can shoot and I have a quick release. Basketball has really opened my mind up to plenty of things besides just basketball. It's basically who you know out here, and when you don't have a household name, you really have to network. And from playing basketball, when I've met people that have been helping my career, they've been able to basically do more for me than just basketball. Introduced me to president of a shoe brand company, getting free apparel, connected me with volunteer opportunities at local rec centers and gyms, and this basketball just really give me a lot of opportunities to really express myself and to help other people with anything. It wouldn't matter. Like, I've talked to guys that work in the basketball field, but they also told me if I want to do something else with my life, another career, they could introduce me to other people. If I wanted to maybe be a teacher or stuff like that, because I do have a college degree, so I always have something to fall back on, because basketball isn't guaranteed, and also if it is guaranteed for you, it has to come to an end at some point. I've played basically half and half. I've played half structured ball, and half of my basketball criteria has consisted of street ball. Growing up, I was like 14, 13, I used to be down Parkside, and I remember when the guys from New York, like Bone Collector and Homicide, and them would come down, and our top dudes in Philly like Ayo and Sada and all those guys would be down there, and I just seen like the hypeness and And like, it's just the bragging rights. It's just a difference because when you're playing in the NBA or you're overseas and you're college in the pros, you get your reputation and your bragging rights through the fans and the people at the school or in the city, and you don't get to talk to the people that's watching you play. You don't get to hear their opinion, and they don't really get to see you up close and personal. But when you're playing street ball in tournaments or stuff like that, people actually that you know personally, grew up with, and actually see what you're doing, or they'll see that guy dunking, or they'll see you cross that guy over, and they'll be able to talk about it. And it's like a different type of thick feeling that if you've never played recreational ball or street ball or anything locally in your neighborhood or whatever, you don't really know what that's like. And me growing up, I idolized Allen Iverson, but I also used to idolize like guys like Skip to My Lou and Hot Sauce, because when I was growing up, street ball was coming up and that was really popular. Like, they had all the sneaks and all the mixtapes were dropping in every year, and like guys were just always trying to do a crossover or do a trick, either if it was legitimate or not. But that's basically where I get that from. And my early teenage years, when Amway used to come to the city, I used to always try out, and I used to always do good, and I used to travel, but it never took me on the bus on tour or anything like that. But I mean, I just always had a reputation for that, man. I earned the nickname N1 in my neighborhood, and I was like basically the only guy. Like people would see it on TV, and everybody knew AO is from Philly, but he's like from North Philly. Like, there never was really nobody in West Philly that was really known for doing that stuff. I mean, it was plenty of guys that had game, but it was really too many guys that did those type of tricks and stuff. So I've always had that in my game. So as I got older, I've been playing more civilized basketball. Whenever guys don't understand something, I'm always looking to help them. Not one of them selfish players that just cares about myself. I mean, like anybody else, everybody wants to get their own shine, but at the end of the day, the W and the win, it was most important. And when everybody gels together, you win together. If only 3 players on the team are gelling together, or 8 of them, and there's 10 players and 2 aren't, everybody has to gel. So I've always been a leader, never been a follower, not even on the court, just in life period. I've always had a mind of my own. So that's just natural to me. It's not something I'm trying to do. It's just me. I just prove my doubters and my haters wrong, man. And I just prove, and I just show every other guy that thinks that he doesn't have what it takes to go play somewhere. There's other places besides the NBA. See, that's what lots of guys don't understand. There's lots of guys that's doing real good for themselves, that have plenty of money and are living good and are well taken care of, that aren't in the NBA, that are talented on the court. You have And1, you have Harlem Globetrotters, you have Europe, you have Asia, you have Australia, you have so on and so on and so on and so on. You have the D-League, you got other minor leagues that play. You just have to be hungry. You just have to just do whatever you got to do. I seen something one time on the internet that said if you want to be successful, basically you have to want it as bad as you want to breathe. It's like if somebody was trying to drown you to put you in the water, underwater, and you couldn't get up. What's all you think about? You ain't think about your girlfriend, your parents, your job, basketball. All you care about is getting that gas, getting that breath, gasping for air, getting above. That's how serious you got want it just as bad as you would want to do that. So I'm just telling you, it could be done. And I never know what could go on from here. So the sky's the limit. Matter of fact, the sky isn't the limit. There is no limit for me. So I'm just keep doing what I'm doing. I just believe I'm just here to play basketball and give back to the community and the youth, and just keep being a positive role model, continue to do positive things. Not because it looks good or anything like that, because it's what I want to do and it's the right thing to do and it feels good to do.